folks. Welcome in. Seven Rivers Racing, KQE GTV. I'm Dan Dyker in our fourth year of the program as we are so close to racing season kicking off. You wouldn't think by Mother Nature so far, the way she's been playing some little head games with us of dumping rain and dumping snow and 30 and 40-degree temperatures this past week, that we would even be close to racing. But believe it or not, practice for the Mississippi Thunder Speedway is next Wednesday. Opening night is next Friday night, the 25th, followed by the opening of the La Crosse Speedway, somewhat the 27th with the Frost Buster. My guest in the program today, in his either 33rd or 44th crazy year of participating of activities and festivities, not only at Oktoberfest, but racing in the meanwhile, is a mid-pack legend, Bill Doc Niles. Where are you, buddy?
Living the dream. I'm excited for the season coming up. Looking forward to it. I see some changes to the schedule that I like. One change I don't like, and looking forward to getting it done, getting some warm weather, and getting some racing in.
And we're going to throw it out there right now. Why don't you like a 2 o'clock race on the 27th of April?
Because it should be on the 26th of April.
Now, in 34 years, besides Oktoberfest, have you ever raced on a Sunday afternoon at La Crosse?
There's years ago, before Motorsports Management took the Speedway over, they used to have specials in the summer on Sunday afternoons, and I raced a couple of them, in the support divisions. But other than Oktoberfest, no, there hasn't been a Sunday afternoon race here at La Crosse.
So 34 years now. Now this is the 26th year that the La Crosse Speedway has been affiliated with NASCAR. What was it? Let's see. That would have been 8 more years before that. You were sanctioned under somebody else for approximately 8 years before NASCAR came in.
Yeah, Larry Weir has held the lease to the Speedway for I believe since 1970, up until the time that Motorsports Management took it over in, I believe, 87 or 88, and he ran a really good weekly program, and he kept it simple with 2 or 3 divisions. And it ran a really nice program. Started the Oktoberfest tradition, which is, from just a 2-day show back in 1970, has just blown up to this 4- and 5-day extravaganza that you got now. A lot of the simple ideas that he started way back in the 70s and continued in the 80s, stuff we still use nowadays, and you can't thank Larry enough for pioneering racing in this area, because he owned the Dells Motor Speedway, and he ran the La Crosse Speedway for a long time. So he promoted 2 racetracks at once, and it was, like I said, they've done a heck of a job doing that, and you can't thank him enough for pioneering, starting way back then, which is a tradition now.
Well, again, that all kicks off here in just about a week and a half. Billy's favorite day, Sunday the 27th, is the Frost Buster. It's a 2 o'clock race. Of course, you can find more information on the La Crosse Speedway's website. We're going to get into more of that here in a couple of moments. Also, coming up this Saturday, we did tape the program on Thursday this week, so you'll see it tonight. Now, if you're going to watch it Friday or Saturday, it wouldn't be tonight, it would be Thursday night. At Sugarloaf Ford in Winona to help kick off the 6th season of Bob Tim owning the Mississippi Thunder Speedway at Sugarloaf Ford. It is their 6th annual car show and swap meet. It's going to start off at about 10 o'clock. They'll be giving away awards for the best in show and things like that. You'll be able to get up the little pocket-sized schedules and the big wall-sized schedules. They'll have free pop and hot dogs and popcorn. And that's going to be while supplies last. I'd like to kick that in there because I'll be up there at 10 o'clock shooting some shows for Mississippi Thunder Speedway next week.
Hide the popcorn.
No, hide the hot dogs.
That too. Hide anything that is food related.
Plus, they're going to have a race parts swap meet in the parking lot, and I've seen the stuff they have up there. You'll find anything from tires to rims to transmissions to clutches to trailers to anything you can imagine to build a dirt car with, including the new Hornet class this year. You'll be able to find it in the parking lot. That goes from around 10 to 2 at Sugarloaf Ford in Winona. We'll be up there taping a series of programs with Bob Tim and Dan Bailey and a couple of drivers. You'll be able to watch next weekend as we help kick off the racing season at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. A couple of notes talking about Mississippi Thunder Speedway. The family-friendly pricing and free admission just came out this morning for the 2014 season, approving their free admission promotion at MTS. Not only will that cover children 12 and under this year, but also to all active students with a valid student ID card. That includes current college students. The current ID, you'll be in for free this year as well. It's part of a Bob Tim's family-friendly pricing plan. Also, they're going to have a family-friendly pricing pit plan for you as well if you want to get your children in. They have some special prices to get into the pits this year. Of course, children 12 and under that are competing are still required to purchase the regularly priced $25 pit pass. They'll have the family-friendly pricing again this year. Last year was 2 adults and 3 kids, $25. Not a bad deal.
Nice price, nice price.
And that's one thing that both Bob Tim has done at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, and we talked with Chuck Deary last week about the La Crosse Speedway. Racetracks holding their prices to where they have been for the past couple of years.
That's one of the things. If you talk to Chuck, that's one of the things he's pretty proud of, is that he didn't, he's not raising the prices, which is good. It still makes it affordable to come out on a Saturday night to come to the races here at La Crosse, and you got the family-friendly pricing at Mississippi Thunder. So, a family night out at the races at either track is going to be very affordable.
Some key nights quickly to pass along. You can always find the schedule at MississippiThunder.com. They're going to have the third annual $10,000 to win Bayman B-Mod Nationals once again. Car counts there were over 100 here just a couple of years ago, even in the last year with the clouds that came over. River City Rumble's coming back. The Bayman B-Mod Challenge is again coming back August 1st. USMTS Hunt Race and a special. Both of those will be tucked into the schedule this year. The Amsoil Rock qualifying race for WISSOTA drivers is something new that's going to be coming up this year. We'll talk about more next week. And, of course, their fall festival is the first weekend in October. Check out MississippiThunder.com for updates to that schedule. When we come back, it's going to be La Crosse Speedway time. We are oh so close to laying the rubber down there at the 5/8 mile. We'll do that next here in Seven Rivers Racing.
Get ready for the Thunder! The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Racing starts at 7. Super stocks.
Modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks.
Street stocks.
Viva.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style.
Tickets $12 for adults.
$5 18 and under.
$8 for students. Or our family pack.
$25 for 2 adults and 3 kids 18 and under.
Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Holman American Legion Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
At Cousin Subs, we never settle for good. We always strive for better. Since 1972, we've been creating our signature Deli Fresh subs. We start with fresh bread that's baked every day. Then we freshly chop vegetables and slice the meat daily. It's how we do it and always have. Why? Because you deserve better.
Welcome back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQE GTV. I'm Dan Dyker, my guest in the program this week. He's helped me kick off not only the TV show, but the Mississippi Thunder Race Report, AM 580 to be KTY Racing Report, a radio show I've done the past 4 years. Catch that on Saturdays from 1 until 2. You can also look up the Mississippi Thunder Race Report and Seven Rivers Racing, both on my Facebook. Go ahead and add yourself there. A lot of contests and good things. The news release comes out about a certain racetrack, even NASCAR. That'll be one of the first places you're going to want to go to look for the new information. Billy Doc Niles joining me, 34th year racing at the La Crosse Speedway. You kind of scaled things back last year, but I think you and Sean Paff both have come to a point that you've watched your years go by, and that also includes you've watched years of family time go by, and I know on behalf of Sean Paff, he spent some time up in a cabin with his kids. They're getting older and graduating high school, and I know you're pretty much in that same boat.
Yeah, my youngest one is going to be graduating here in about a month and a half here or so. And the time has just gone by. I mean, we're talking 34 years. I've been doing this since the day I got my license when I was 16. And it's, the time it's gone. I mean, it was fun, and I missed a lot of birthday parties. I missed a lot of weddings. And we're scaling it back a little bit. Still gonna race the majority of the schedule. At least that's the plan right now. Things do change, you know that.
Oh yeah.
But we're still gonna race the majority of the schedule. But it's kind of nice to take a weekend off and go hit a Brewer game. Maybe go to a wedding that you probably wouldn't have gone to if you stuck to your race schedule. We actually had a family reunion last year. It was one of the weekends that I took off, so that was it's pretty cool to do that, and and not have to say at 3 o'clock, well, I got to go. So
right.
It's kind of nice to do things like that, and who knows? Maybe in the coming years we'll scale back more and more till we're not around at all.
7 classes now at the La Crosse Speedway with the addition this year of the 6-cylinder street stocks. You also have the Outlaws that are going to be back this year.
Love that class.
You have the figure 8s that'll be back this year. The Hornets will be back this year. And did you ever imagine that La Crosse would go to 7 classes? I mean, even though the Outlaws, the figure 8s, and the new street stock class don't run every single weekend, still, that's 7 classes now.
That's amazing. There are some tracks that try and squeeze 5, 6, 7 classes in one night. I like the model that we have here now. 3 classes a night, occasionally 4 classes a night. Seems to run pretty smooth, and you still get done in time. The thing that amazes me, I'd like to see how this new street stock class takes off, because they tried a 6-cylinder class about 7, 8 years ago, and it really didn't turn out that well. So I'm hopeful that they get the numbers to sustain this class.
I think it's interesting because if you look at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway, they're going to have the Midwest Poker League Hornets this year. When I first started covering dirt track racing in this area about 5, 6 years ago, actually it was been 7 years ago, they only had 8 or 9 to show up. This year they've got commitments for almost 25 to 30. And now if you look at this new 6-cylinder Hornet type class at the Speedway, I've heard a lot of interest has grown there. What is it that's made that class come back around again?
I think a couple of things. Number one, it's the accessibility of the cars, because there's plenty of 6-cylinder cars sitting around nowadays. If there's still junkyards around, that's where you'll find them. Also, it's an affordable class, affordable startup class, and that's in today's world where things prices are just skyrocketing out. And you just can't afford to. If you can't afford to field a late model or a sportsman, this is an affordable startup class to get your foot in the door. And like I said, I hope it takes off. This is a very good start to move your way up the ladder.
26 years now that the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series has been associated with the Speedway, pretty much as long as Chuck Deary and Motorsports Management and Greg McCarnes have been there. It's got to be nice when you come back each race season to know that you've got that umbrella to race under every single year.
Oh, the NASCAR stuff is really cool. They keep a state points total. They keep a national points total, which is kind of interesting. You listen to these guys, and I always laugh at this. You listen to these guys who say, well, I don't pay attention to points. I don't believe any one of them, because they're no different than any other race car driver. They're on that website Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever they put it up. They want to know where they're at. They want to know how they stack up against the rest of the state, against the rest of the nation. And I'm no different. I do it. I admit it. I do it.
Well, so do I.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice that the NASCAR, we've been affiliated with NASCAR for 26 years now. We've had, 4, I think it is 4 regional champions and 1 national champion come out of La Crosse. So that shows that the competition here at La Crosse is top notch, one of the best in the country. So,
and it was I want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago. Gilster was in the national hunt in the sportsman.
In the sportsman, class. Yes, they got 3 tiers now. The top tier for your top class, which for us would be the late models. tier number 2 for your sportsman class type cars like ours, and tier number 3, which our Thunderstocks have been competing in. Yeah, Dan Gilster, I do believe, was it 3 years ago, was in the top 3 in that. So it's pretty cool that all three divisions have something nationally to compete for.
And then I also want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago that Anna Moore in the Thunderstock class had a solid chance.
Yeah, he made a run at it. I think he finished somewhere in the top 10. The numbers game caught up to us because especially out on the East Coast, they do run a lot of races out there, and they have the numbers to back it up. So that's one thing that's happening to us is the numbers game is kind of hurting us right now. But hopefully, things go ebb and flow, and the numbers will start to pick up here this year and next year.
Well, again, that's not bad when you look at the Crosse Speedway, and you've got 3 different classes that have, Steve Carlson won it, I think it was in 2007, made another run at it last year as well, and Danny Gilster and even Anna Moore making runs at that national championship. That's, tell you what, that gets you a trip to North Carolina and a nice weekend, courtesy of NASCAR. We've seen Jay Herbst, Todd Korish, and Steve Carlson here in the past make that trip out east and have a great time at it. When we come back, we're going to try to break down the schedule. Billy Doc Niles has done this with me now for the past 4 years. I got some nights on here that are going to be kind of interesting, and even one I don't even think Billy has seen in all of his years racing at the Speedway, and that's going to be the Fantastic 5 night coming up in August. Billy Doc Niles joins me in the program. We'll be right back with more 7 Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV.
We're here when the sun rises. And when the bread rises too. And we're here slicing a deli fresh every day. And every morning, we're chopping it all up. Why do we put so much effort into making it fresh? Because you deserve better.
Holman American Legion Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Get ready for the Thunder, the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Racing starts at 7. Super stocks.
Modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks.
Street stocks.
Levi.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style.
Tickets $12 for adults.
$5, 18 and under.
$8 for students. Or our family pack.
$25 for 2 adults and 3 kids, 18 and under.
Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder.
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
We're back one more time, 7 Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. Thanks for joining us on the program. Also, thanks a lot of the comments I get on my Facebook page, 7 Rivers Racing, from folks that maybe have some ideas of guests they want to see, or just a congratulations to having the program and having some of the great guests that we have on every single week. And also remind you, Mississippi Thunder Race Report is on Saturdays from 1 until 2 on 580 WKTY. You can also look that up on Facebook as well. April 27th is right around the corner. The Frostbuster event kicks things off at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Then we take a couple of night break, come back May 17th. Quite a few double features coming up this year. That's
one of the things you noticed. You notice he chopped off a couple of weeks at the beginning of the season, and he chopped off a week at the end of the season. And in order to be eligible for national NASCAR points, you got to have so many races in. That's where the double features come in. He shortened up the season, added 3 double feature nights, which I've always been a fan of. I like the double feature nights. I think they're pretty cool. And so you're not going to hear me complain about that part of the schedule one bit. I'm really excited for it, especially that Fantastic 5 that you mentioned in August. along with the Mid-American Series and the Sportsman. We're going to have 5 20-lap features that night, so that's going to be a big night to look forward to. So yeah, as far as the double features go, I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to them.
May 31st, July 19th, and then the Fantastic 5 comes up on August 16th. And again, like Bill was saying, 5 20-lap features, 2 for the late models, 2 for the Mid-American stock cars, and 1 for the Sportsman division. With the Sportsman division going from the normal 15 laps, we're running 20 laps. And the Mid-American stock cars usually run a 40-lap feature period. And when Chuck was talking to the group there, and he said, hey, how about 2 20-lappers that night? They were all for it. Other key dates coming up. Yeah, there's an interesting one. I think the Tundra Series is going to be back this year.
I've heard that, yes.
And another one coming up, I want to say it was in the mid-July, is Kenny Hutchins and the group are going to be coming down with their classic cars like we see at Oktoberfest. And from what I hear, that could be a nice car count that night.
That's one of the highlights on Sunday afternoon, is looking at some of them old race cars going at it out on the Speedway. And to get them on a Saturday night would actually be a pretty cool thing to see. Kenny Hutchins, one of the top drivers in that class now.
Ken Lewis as well, former Sportsman driver.
Ken Lewis.
Jerry Ellsworth. I heard Johnny's Hobbies might be out to race one this year in the old yellow Chevy.
Yep, so there's going to be a lot of local representation when it comes to this classic car circuit. They ran them at, they also have the Illinois Vintage they ran at Rockford Speedway over the weekend before it rained out. Heard a lot of good things about what happened there, so really looking forward to seeing this on a Saturday night, a regular Saturday night, instead of the usual spot on Sunday at Oktoberfest.
Of course, June 14th, one of the big nights at the Speedway, not the Saver Nights on a big night. Smash-A-Rama, of course, that's always a huge fan admission night that night.
I usually find something to do with the family that night, but I look forward to getting home and watching Smash-A-Rama on KQEG TV on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock, especially the Smash-A-Rama and the Eve of Destruction. It always comes off well on the TV, and it looks like a lot of fun, especially with all the fans there.
And then another big night is going to be, it's going to be interesting. We're going to race a Saturday, Thursday, Saturday and see how well the vocal cords hold up that week before Oktoberfest.
Oh, come on, you can do it 4 days in a row in October.
We have Thursday night, July 3rd, with, I say this every single year, and this just isn't a brown nose towards the Speedway. The fireworks show that they put out at the Speedway is one of the best I've seen at that size of a racetrack outside of your Daytonas and Talladegas and tracks like that.
Yes, La Crosse has, over the last 20 years, has turned into one of the best fireworks shows at a racetrack. One of the ones I've always liked to go to has always been Slinger Speedway. I always thought they put on one of the best fireworks shows, and La Crosse, in my opinion, has now matched that show. They put on an excellent fireworks show. Great stuff going on in the infield of the quarter mile. The booms going off out of turn 3. So it is one of the best racetrack fireworks shows you're going to see around.
And so we're going to be racing a Saturday, then that night, July 3rd, and then we're racing that next Saturday again. So 3 races.
July 3rd and July 5th. Thanks for giving us the 4th off.
Yeah, no kidding. Another big one. I could not believe the fans that were at the Eve of Destruction last year. You know, when we sit up on the tower, Rick and I, from KQEG TV, we always look at the fans that are coming in. And I kid you not, we started things off at about 7:30, and I'm still up on the tower by 8:15, and there were still 2 lines, one going down the length of the Speedway, the other one back to the exhibition hall, of people still trying to get in, and we're trying to squeeze everybody together. And that's turned into so many different things. It's like a big family reunion night. It's the one time where parents want to make sure their kids are all together in one spot and can come out and just watch a bunch of destruction.
Yeah, that's the one thing people like to see things get smashed up. You get your segment of fans that come to the racetrack to watch the races, and you got another segment that likes seeing that big pile up into the wall. Smash-A-Rama and Eve of Destruction are no different. That's why the crowds are so huge. I mean, standing room only crowds for these nights. It's because they like to see things wrecked. They like that T-bone crash, that steel wall crash, that rollover. They like seeing the monster truck destroy stuff. So that's it's a reason. There's a reason why you have the biggest crowd of the year, one of the biggest crowds of the year. It's because you see stuff getting destroyed. Same thing with the trailer race at the beginning of August. Get big crowds because they like seeing stuff get destroyed.
And if memory serves me correctly, after talking to Chuck last week, the Green Mamba Jet car will be out in June this year during the Smash-A-Rama. Not only just the trailer race of destruction, Eve of Destruction night, but he's going to be out earlier, so you're going to get the chance to see him melt some cars down twice this year. And, of course, we close things off with the 45th annual Oktoberfest celebration.
Biggest weekend in the country. Get your campsite early. If you don't have a reserved campsite, be sitting there that Monday so you can go out and get one of the free ones, because it's the big family reunion, biggest weekend of the year.
Well, Billy Niles will be out there again for the Frostbuster coming up here on the 27th. I can't wait to see what his autographed hero cards look like. They change every single year.
I can't wait to see him either.
He has no idea.
Mary always has some cool idea. We'll see what's happening.
Well, before we will let Bill go, again, this is his 34th year of racing, and you talk about a gentleman that has had sponsors stay true to form on his car and a part of his race team every single year for almost all 34 years. So maybe some new businesses. You have got some great ones.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about this year. Like I told you on the radio, we didn't change anything to the car. That includes the sponsors. That is so cool. Every one of them are back again this year. All-Star Lanes, Bernie's Equipment, Features in Holman, Washoe Chiropractic, who I just came from, feeling great. The Wine Sitters up in Holman, and the Remedy Bloody Mary Mix.
Where you just came from and you're feeling great?
Yep. No, Lost Lake Beer.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Turnmeyer Auto Repair, FMB Trailer Sales, George and Pat Schmidt, Speedy Graphics, Scientific Recyclers. I mean, it's. I know it sounds like a lot of sponsors, but you know, there's some people in positions that just can't afford that big dollar sponsorship, and I like. You know, I don't mind the small dollar sponsorship because I can give them the exposure they need and they want, and we got a great working relationship with every one of our sponsors, and we couldn't be happier that they're back with us again this year, and that they like what they see every year. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep coming back.
And you're going to see all them on April 27th at the Crosse Speedway. A reminder again, this Saturday from 10 to 2, Sugarloaf Ford in Winona. It's the Mississippi Thunder Speedway annual car show. Come up, see some of the fantastic dirt muscle cars you're going to be seeing out there. First practice for MTS is next Wednesday. The first race is Friday night the 25th. And then we come back to La Crosse for the Frostbuster at the La Crosse Speedway.
First practice for La Crosse is the 26th. First race is the 27th.
Oh, that's right. So I've got 3 days. Actually, I'll be at racetracks 4 out of 5 days. I love that. Can't wait.
Just like Oktoberfest, buddy.
Well,
almost.
Somewhat. That's going to do it for the program. I want to thank Billy Niles for joining us. Congratulations, 34 years racing and promoting auto racing here in West Wisconsin. He's one of the best at doing that. And we'd like to see him back at the track this year. And when he gets his autograph cards, we'll let you know so you can run and get Billy Niles' autograph. I want to thank Jesse for running things behind the camera. I'm Dan Dyker. Next week's show is all about getting slideways up in the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. I want to talk to Bob, Tim, and a couple of drivers next week right here on 7 Rivers Racing.